elected Speaker of the House yesterday and acknowledged the difficult process that led to his selection.
We've gone through a little bit of suffering. We've gone through a little bit of character building. And you know what it's produced? More strength, more perseverance, and a lot of hope.
Coming up, House Democrat Jamie Raskin of Maryland offers his assessment of Johnson. We'll have more on that next hour on WNYC. Remember, coming up today, did you know New Jersey has some of the most segregated schools in America? Join me, researchers, community journalists, and Newark students for a public conversation on what that means for education in the Garden State. The event is free. It takes place tonight at 5:15 at the Newark Public Library. Reserve a ticket and get details at wnyc.org/events. Your forecast now. It is 60 and clear in the big city. Mostly sunny, warmer today than it was yesterday. Warm again tomorrow, up to 75 and the sunshine both days. And then on Saturday, we really warm up, all the way up to 80, and we start to cool off. On Hallows Eve, that's on Tuesday, do we have a treat for you if you like fall weather? Yes, details to come. It's 6:52.
WNYC supporters include Bank of America, offering access to resources and digital tools designed to help local to global companies make moves for their businesses. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Abramarama presenting Deep Rising. Jason Momoa explores our deep ocean and the threat to its mysterious ecosystems by mining companies, how it links to green energy and what this means for the planet. Opens Friday at Village East by Angelica.
Where does government money start flowing now that Republicans have elected a new leader for the House?
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Amazon Business, helping provide a smarter, easier way to get the supplies businesses need to thrive. Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying. And by Charles Schwab. Schwab believes every investor deserves to work with a firm they can count on, with financial consultants ready to serve clients and 24/7 live help.
I'm David Brancaccio. Now that the House of Representatives has a new leader, the chamber, responsible for appropriating most funding for the government, can turn its attention to all of the spending bills piling up. This could in turn avert another government shutdown in a few weeks. New Speaker Mike Johnson has an ambitious agenda, as Marketplace's Nancy Marshall-Genzer reports.
House Speaker Mike Johnson sent a letter to his colleagues laying out his plans. First, just keeping the federal government open. Congress didn't pass all the spending bills needed to fund the government for the new fiscal year, which began October 1st. So right now it's running on a stopgap funding bill that expires November 17th. In his letter, Johnson said if another temporary measure is needed, it should run through January 15th or April 15th. That would give Congress time to approve the 12 spending bills for permanent funding for the year. President Biden issued a statement congratulating Johnson, but also asking for a vote on his request for about $106 billion for, among other things, aid to Israel and Ukraine, plus border security. Speaker Johnson didn't mention the aid package in his letter, but he told reporters it's, quote, a top priority. Congress also has to pass a new farm bill, setting policy for agriculture and food programs like SNAP. The most recent farm bill expired September 30th. I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer for Marketplace.
On that last point, 17 million households in America, about 13%, struggled to put adequate food on the table at least once last year. The new Household Food Security Report from the Agriculture Department shows that is an increase of almost 5 million households from a year earlier. Marketplace's Kimberly Adams reports.
Several groups saw increases in food insecurity last year, according to USDA. Lisa Davis with advocacy group Share Our Strength says there was a nearly 45% jump for families with children, and
this report comes on the tails of the most recent child poverty report, which showed the largest one-year spike in child poverty rates in history.
All this was avoidable, says USDA Deputy Undersecretary for Food and Nutrition, Stacey Dean.
We saw significant withdrawal in government assistance associated with the pandemic. And as that was pulling back, we see the consequences, which was unfortunately a rise in food insecurity.
And that rise was not even. Jerry Henchy is with the Food Research and Action Center.
So we see twice the levels of food insecurity for Black and Latinx households.
Another group particularly affected, single-parent households headed by women, with food insecurity in about a third of those families. In Washington, I'm Kimberly Adams for Marketplace.
There is a tentative contract between Ford Motor Company and the United Auto Workers Union, which could end the Ford strike, although negotiations with General Motors and Jeep Ram Dodge Chrysler continue. Under the tentative deal, there's an immediate 11% increase, with pay going up 25% over the 4.5 years of the contract. The deal also ended at some Ford plants the two-tier pay system, where workers hired later made less. Marketplace Morning Report podcast has more on this if you miss it on the air today. Ford's stock is up 1.2% in pre-market trading now, but S&P futures are down 0.6%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Bitwarden, the enterprise password manager for security and productivity. Easy to use with username and password autofill, biometric unlock, and availability on any device. More at bitwarden.com. And by C3 AI. C3 Generative AI provides ChatGPT enterprise search that is verifiable, secure, and accurate across all enterprise data. C3.ai. This is Enterprise AI. And by the Financial Times, whose distinctive pink pages have reported U.S. news for over 130 years. There's more at fearlesslypink.com.